Hello, this is Dr. Martina, your online sex therapist and sex educator. Sexual dry spells is something that's very common, especially amongst women. Men have some too, but their dry spell seems to be, if they have any, they seem to be much shorter than ours. I asked a gay male friend of mine, what's the longest he has gone without sex, and he said 2 months. So I've gone a little longer without it. I've had a couple times I've had no sex or no connection, no intimacy with somebody else. I had sex by myself, but somebody else for over a year. So this is a topic close to my heart as well, because after a long time now, I'm going to have some sex in a couple weeks, and there are anxieties, there are fears and worries that show up. And so I wanted to put this video together for you as much as for myself. And I'm going to tell you what kind of fears come up and worries and what we can do about it. It really doesn't matter if it has been 2 months or 1 year, 8 months and 7 days since you haven't had sex. If there has been a gap and you have an opportunity to have sex and it's coming, it's on your schedule, it's waiting for you, there are anxieties that come along with that. My anxiety is not as much that I'm worried about my body doesn't know how to show me pleasure. I'm connected with that, but for me it's just the emotional part. I'm afraid that I'm just going to start crying and won't be able to stop, that I will get a snotty nose and I'll have to get up in the middle of it and blow my nose, and that's not a pretty or sexy sight. So I'm afraid that my emotions will just take over, and that could possibly kill the mood, which is obviously not going to do, but that's what I worry about. Some people worry about the body image issues, that they're bringing along a pandemic body and that the lover hasn't seen and possibly not be attracted to anymore. And some people actually think that they may not know how to ride a bike again. So whatever emotion there is, first of all, what you can do is trust your intuition. Make sure that you have a cognitive connection with your sexuality and trust your intuition. And sometimes we have to be reminded, especially when it's so stressful as it is right now, is we have to be reminded that our intuition is what saves us a lot, and we have to just stay connected with that. And we may not know how it's going to all feel and work out, but we can trust our intuition. And sometimes what I have to do is, that's why I wore this t-shirt. It says, I intuitively knew how to put this t-shirt on to remind myself of my intuition. So that's how it starts, first of all, so you can actually show up. And then you show up with your body, and the first thing, we are a bundle of nerves and a bundle of muscles, tight muscles swimming upstream, especially during stressful times. That's what we do. So what are we doing with those muscle tension? If we come into bed with a high muscle tension, we're not going to be able to feel anything. So let's make sure that we let those go. And we can do that through some really conscious breathing, just deep in breathing, count to 5, and slowly letting go, and also count to 5. So the muscle system really needs to go along with you and cannot be in a high tension place, because it's just going to make it more difficult, and it will actually interfere with the joy and the pleasure. And then slowing the tempo. We gotta slow it down. I mean, if you have taken yourself off carbs, like I have, unfortunately, I'm a carnivore. I really love carbs. But if I'm not gonna have carbs for a year and then I get to have my favorite pasta dish sitting right in front of me, I will slow it down. I will not gobble it all up and then get sick, because then where's the pleasure? You cannot enjoy it. So slowness activates actually more pleasure. Slowness actually increases your sensitivity. So that would be number 2. Make sure that you slow everything down. And if your lover is not slowing it down, just tell him, please, let's slow this down. I've waited for this for a long time. Let's just enjoy it. And then the third thing is, tap into your arousal sources, which are your five senses. Those are the sources that you use in order to increase your arousal. So tap into what you see. Look at your partner's body. Look at your body. Feeling naked in bed, waiting for your lover. Look at what you hear. If you hear, somebody coming into the door, really activate your senses, because your senses is what brings you present. That's what brings you right here at the moment into your body. It's your senses, and they will help you really connect with that and shut the rest of the world out. So that's what you can do when you have a sexual encounter planned after a dry spell. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, please contact me. And if you have a sexual encounter that's coming up, enjoy. Our sexuality has been waiting for us for a while now to become part of our lives again, so we can let go of all the stress that